G'day guys, welcome back to another video with Enno here from Fantasy Take TV. Today we'll be going through my Game Week 4 team selection. Before we do that, we'll get some questions as well. As always, be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to see more of this stuff. I am thinking about possibly doing some deadline streams at some point. I'll wait till the footy's over, finals time, which is really exciting. But maybe in a month or two, when the FPL season starts to heat up, around wildcard time and then the World Cup and stuff like that. Let me know if you want to see streams, if you jump in and say hello. Probably be like out, Australian night time, so Friday night, probably not Saturdays, but more like the Friday, maybe the midweek ones, like when it's a Tuesday night or something like that. But we'll get to the questions. So first one is from Michael. He says, Andreas, Nico Williams and De Silva, who do you start this week? Instantly cross out De Silva. I don't think he's an option. I think the other two are really decent options, and they've been really good value and picks so far this season. Nico Williams has had a rise. Andreas, I think, will feature. He's got an assist last week. I missed out on it, so spewing there. But I think Andreas, Arsenal away, and then Nico, Tottenham at home. It's a tough one. I think I always favour the promoted sides at home, but I doubt they keep a clean sheet against the Spurs. But he is quite attacking, so I think I bet on an attacking return from Andreas more than Nico Williams, because I just don't think Nico will get the clean. So I'd go with Andreas, maybe set piece, corner, something like that, can get an assist. Whereas Nico, I probably doubt he gets a clean sheet, and then it is a lot harder to get an assist as a defender, even though he is quite attacking. So if you think Nico's at least a decent shot at a clean sheet, maybe you go for him because he's at home. But for me, I think Andreas slightly, but not De Silva. AC asks, if you were playing a wild card, who would you be running with? Unless your team is really, really in bad shape, I wouldn't be wild carding to begin with this week. But if you are, I'm not going to go through it or get a team up. But just off the top of my head, I think Sanchez would be the goalkeeper of choice up until, for a long time. His fixtures are quite good, and Brighton are a good defence. In defence, I'd be running with Trent. I'd be running with Cancelo. Reece James, I think, if you're wildcarding, you want him because whilst he might not be as good in the next week or two I think Kovacic is coming back. I think they can still find a way to start him at right wing back if Azpilicueta plays. They might play Cucurella at left centre back and Chilwell at left wing back. And I don't know what Tuchel's doing, but if he can find a way and do that, they're the best when they've got those two guys. Either Cucurella's look good, but Reece at right wing back. They're just a much better team. So anyway, I think you want him because even if it's not this week, he's going to start playing out there soon. In midfield, I think Salah or KDB if you so insist. But one of those two, Martinelli. I think you want a City mid, a Foden or a Gundogan. And then if you want to go another one, you might go a Rodrigo or a Gross or something like that. And then I think you want Haaland and Jesus, and if that doesn't work with that midfield, then you probably just go Tony and Jesus, or Jesus and Tony. Because I think Haaland might be a transfer out soon. If you want to try and predict his minutes, maybe getting a rest against Forest midweek, you could try and do that. It's something I'm looking at with the transfer next week. But off the top of my head, I think they're the players you'd want, and then you can fill in the gaps somewhere else. You want Andreas, you want Nico Williams, probably stuff like that. Another one, Rob says, I can field Dunk in a 4-3-3 or Andreas in a 3-4-3. Don't worry about the formations. It's pretty much just Dunk versus Andreas. It doesn't change anything really. It's just how the team looks on the field. But Dunk for me, for sure. I know Leeds isn't the best matchup, but I think they're really good defence, and there's every chance they keep it clean. And then the last one is from Smudge. What would you do with Madison and being elite so far but down for this week? Wait for the presses. Unfortunately, I don't have the information at the time of recording, but see what Rogers says. See if he's out, of course, and if he is, then transfer him. But if he doesn't say anything, then I guess you could go with him. But depending on how your team's looking and what you're thinking of doing next week, and if a rolled transfer to get you two next week looks good, then I'd stick with that. But if you had two already, I'd look at probably moving him maybe to a Gundogan, a Foden, someone like that if you're not tripled up on City already. Other than that, maybe you go down. Maybe you go down to a Rodrigo, down to a Harrison, Pascal Gross, one of those guys, and maybe you can do something with the cash next week. I think if you go down to Gross, You might have enough to get, Archer up to a Tony next week, something like that. You might need another transfer to do that. But wait for the presses. But even if he is looking like he's playing, I might still look at a transfer just because they haven't really offered much so far, Leicester. I know Matto's been good with FPL points, but he really hasn't had a lot of chances. Scored a free kick, scored a nice goal from a tight angle against Arsenal. He hasn't really created a lot, or Leicester haven't in general. So, I'd probably look at moving him on, even though he's been really good for you so far. Get to the team now. So in goal, still got Ward, still got the old Leicester pairing. I'll be definitely looking at moving that on or changing that up soon. Just going to roll the transfer this week, most likely. So he's in net for now. In defence, still got the big boys, got the double Liverpool, got Cancelo, got James. I think, it really is not the last chance, but in a way it is for Robbo. I'm not going to transfer Trent pretty much no matter what, unless he's injured. Robbo, something to think about. If Liverpool can't keep it clean against Bournemouth, then I don't really trust them against anyone, and they haven't done it so far this year. But I just think they will. Bournemouth don't offer anything. They sit back, they absorb, and they really struggle to even hit you on the counter. So it's like they've created 0.9, I think, XG so far this season over 3 games. I just don't see how they score. And if they do, maybe it's from a set piece or something like that. But I really backed him in for a clean and think Robbo will get his points finally on the way. Cancelo, probably the biggest chance of losing a clean amongst these boys, with Palace actually playing really well, liking what they're doing. It'll suit them this game, sitting back. They're really good on the counter, and that's how they've scored all of their goals so far this season. But Cancelo, you're going to want to have him. He's already got a couple of attacking returns, and he got one in the charity game midweek, so awesome option. Reece James, as I said in the start, maybe playing right centre back for a week or two more. Maybe they try and get him to right wing back. Who knows? But I think, as I said as well, with Leicester, they haven't really offered much. So I see a clean sheet there for him as well. And Tomiyasu, the big one, I probably really shouldn't have gone there last week, just knowing that he hasn't started yet. And I'm kind of assuming that he'll come straight into the team. But they're clearly, Arteta's clearly trying to build his fitness up. And when you're winning, it's a bit harder to drop people as well, even though he is definitely the first choice right back. Ben White's just filling in, but he's doing a good job. So he's sort of keeping a winning thing going, and until that changes, probably happens again. I'm just fingers crossed. Maybe he switches it up against Fulham. Wanting a proper right back out there, but who knows? Probably more unlikely than likely, but you never know. And I think he's just a better option than Chance. Anyway, he will come on again, and Andreas, if he starts and doesn't get a clean sheet, what's he getting? 2 points? Might as well go for the upside with Tomiyasu getting a clean sheet. Said that last week, and Andreas got an assist, but I think I'll stick with that for now. Into the midfield, and Salah, not the captain as you can see, but I think he's a really good option as captain, and will be the most captain, no doubt, in my mind this game week. And I just, for whatever reason, think I'm going to go against it, but it's more with the option I'm going with than Salah. I think he is a good option. He just really hasn't been clicking himself. He's found a way to score goals in the fixtures. In game week 1, got a goal and assist late to sort of get him back into the game. Again, against United, he really didn't look threatening at all, and then, nicked the header at the end, but they really haven't been creating a lot, or he hasn't personally. It's been a lot. When Darwin was playing, it was him, Diaz. He just hasn't been on fire as he was to start last season. So I think he's a perfectly good option, and that could all change against Bournemouth. But like I said, with Bournemouth, they're actually not that terrible with XGA, goals, chances conceded against, because they just sit back and absorb pressure, but they don't offer much either. So look, perfectly fine, but I'm not going with it. Phil Foden, I think, starts. He's just played every time. Grealish is injured now as well, which just helps his cause, but Pep loves him. I'll keep saying it, and he does. It holds true. Not going to play every game. There will be a benching at some point, but for me, I think he starts the next couple. Martinelli, just a great option, isn't he? Really, I really wish I just started with him so I didn't have to sort of mess my team up to get him in. But it is what it is, and I think he's going to really keep coming through with the value at his price, and keep probably rising. But there's definitely returns for him in this game. And then in the forward line, we've got Haaland, and the captaincy is on Gabby Jesus. So My thinking here is I think Haaland's actually a really decent option as well, but Jesus, Fulham, like with Bournemouth last week, he actually did create a chance or two and could have had another goal, and that's against Bournemouth, but who play a 5 at the back. Fulham, they play a 4 at the back. They really go for it. I see an up and down game. I see a lot of chance of Arsenal, who have created, besides City, the next most chances this season, and I see a couple of returns plus for Jesus in this game as well. So look, he doesn't have penalties. That's a big thing with Salah as well. You know, he has penalties. Jesus, whilst I think it's probably Saka, he might. It depends. Maybe we do the thing where whoever wins it takes it. But I think there is big returns for him in this game. I just think we'll create a lot of chances and he'll be on the end of a lot of them. So, maybe there's a 10% chance I switch back to Salah in the next 24 hours. But I think for now I've got on Jesus and it's where I'm going to go. I wouldn't call it a rogue captaincy choice. I think they're both great options. And like I said, Haaland is too. But I think once I see Mo Salah's effective ownership well over 100, which is probably what it will be, I'll obviously be praying he blanks. But I think he's a perfectly good option too. Bournemouth, Salah hasn't been in the best form, and Bournemouth they absolutely just parked the bus. So look, I think Liverpool win, but maybe it's a 1-0, 2-0, and maybe Mo only gets an assist or something like that, whereas I think Jesus can really pop against Fulham. That's it from me. Thanks for watching, guys. As I said at the start, if you enjoy the videos, hit like, hit subscribe if you haven't, and let me know as well. Like I said, if you want to see maybe some deadline streams in probably a month or so, something just that'd be low key. Probably won't be many people in the live stream, but just something we can talk through some transfers, talk through some news, and you can get my opinion live. But that's to me. Till next time. Sorry. Good luck for the week, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Got the mojo deal, we been tripping like the 80s. Pulling out the coupe at the light.